More opportunities to partake in all the fanfare. There are 6 more matches in Atlanta through the month of July. And before you hand over cash for that street corner jersey, Better Call Harry has a new alert from federal agents about what you might really be buying.
That $40 World Cup jersey on the street corner looks great, but federal agents are warning it could be counterfeit, and buying it could be doing more damage than you think.
Last year alone, federal authorities seized more than 276,000 sports items worth over $33 million. And with the World Cup here, they expect more. U.S. Customs warns that buying counterfeit goods can fund criminal activity, including forced labor and human trafficking. So here's how to spot a fake. Look for sloppy stitching, blurry logos, and missing security labels. And if the price seems too good to be true, it is. If you want something authentic, make sure it's an authorized retailer.
Find the full list of authorized retailers at atlantanewsfirst.com/investigates. I'm Better Call Harry.